Hello everyone to the first installment of r/Tales from Retail. I'm your host, Burnntt Toast. Let's get right into it. Greetings, fellow overworked retail friends. Today I bring you the story of a dear woman who was determined to get a product that I couldn't sell individually. Allow us to proceed. So I work at a big box store where I am the key person. I cut keys. Whether it's regular house keys, auto keys, or general keys, I'm your gal. I have two machines, one that is super easy to use and one that's a little older but still extremely trustworthy. It's about an average Tuesday morning, somewhat gloomy in my small corner of the world, and my keys desk has been somewhat busy. Everyone is out doing renovations and determined to get keys for their new doors and whatnot. Unfortunately, I'm moderately grumpy, but still have that retail chipperness. In comes our stars of the show. C1, customer 1, and his wife, C2, customer 2. They'd like some keys. Sure, no problem. I'm the wizard of the keys. While my machine is aligning the keys and cutting, a woman has a little tag to add onto the key for a description that she pulled from a basket in front of my desk where the homes are for the packages of about 5 tags. And I'd like this, please, C2 says. A few things. 1, I don't sell the tags individually, as one can guess, and 2, I can't cash out anyone at my desk. Thus, I inform her of such and am met with a dead-eyed stare. But I want this one. I understand, but like I said, unfortunately, I can't sell you that one. I believe someone pulled it out of its product packaging. The same dead stare. But I want this one. Ma'am, I understand that, but unfortunately I do not have a product code to sell you that one and can only sell them in packs. But I don't need all of them, I just want this one. Y'all, I nearly lost my mind and remember just staring at her, so confused. A happy ending though. A customer behind her pulled the package that had them and told her, "I'll sell you one for $1. As if sensing my complete and utter loss of emotions, this customer came to my rescue, though I'm unsure if it was technically allowed. They proceeded to buy the whole thing, selling C2 her single tag while going off about how I couldn't sell her one of them. Guys, I just can't. Up next, T-bone steaks are $1. So this happened to me a number of years back now. I was working the cash register one night at a large grocery chain here in Canada. It was a pretty slow night, only a few customers an hour type of evening. I was standing at my register and talking to one of my coworkers when a lady and her kid pulled up to my lane and starts unloading her shopping cart that had about a dozen large packages of T-bone steaks. Now I didn't think too much of it at first, since sometimes people come in with big orders for barbecues. So I finished scanning her order and give her the total, a few $100s, as each pack was about $20 to $25. She immediately goes full Karen and yells at me, "You scanned those wrong. They are $1 each." I asked her if she meant the steaks, and she yelled again, "Yes, of course the steaks." I explained to her that steaks are priced by weight, and they couldn't be $1 each. She continues to freak out and yell some more about how I'm an idiot and will never amount to anything. By the way, I was in college at the time and am a fairly successful accountant now, for the record. Now her kid is standing there the whole time looking horrified, but also like they've seen this before. She then yells, "If you're calling me a liar, come and see and I'll show you they are $1 each." So as I said, it's a slow night, so I say sure, and I follow her to the cooler section. Once there, she points to a sign near the steak cooler and yells, "Look, it says right there, $1 each, or can you not read?" I look at the sign, look back at the woman and say, "Well, ma'am, it does say $1 each. For the bottles of ketchup in the display the sign is clearly hanging off of." She looks at the sign again and realizes her mistake but yells one more time, "Well, why would you put it so close to the steaks?" With that, she storms off. Her kid looks so embarrassed. To this day, it was one of the most satisfying things that has happened on the job. On this particular day, I had the pleasure to be shift supervisor for the cashiers. I had to deal with lovely Lucys and Leos, but also with Karens and Kens. All in all, it was a good day. We had a nice flower corner with plants and flowers close by that sold well. In it, we had some really nice daisy bushes. Yet, all of that was about to change. Not because of Karen or Ken, but because two men decided to do something naughty and ruin their own day. It all started with me seeing my manager pacing behind the cash registers. Curiosity got the best of me and I decided to ask what was going on. The conclusion? Two men were in the hygiene and personal care department and stuffing every pocket they had with expensive toothpaste and facial creams. When those pockets were full, things went down their underwear. Ugh. They were caught and brought back to the office of the manager. Excitement was rife among the employees. Here's an important detail. The manager's office was after the cash registers and had no obstacles to the exit of the supermarket once you passed by the service desk and the flower corner. So the two thieves were in the office. The moment the manager picked up the phone to call the police, they bolted out of the office for the exit when one of them was body slammed by one bulky male cashier, we'll name him MC, right into the daisy bushels. MC managed to get on the back of thief number one and started to elbow his back, all the while screaming to him, "Stay down! Stay down!" From my front row seat at the service desk, I skipped toward MC and asked if he was all right. He confirmed and then continued to scream, "Stay down!" at thief number one. Thief number two was pushed into the rows of carts by a coworker who was training to be a police officer and happened to be an off-duty officer. He was whimpering a bit and not looking happy at all. With everything under control, I went to the manager, who was looking a bit puzzled, and told him everything was situated. Not long after, the thieves got some shiny new bracelets and a free ride. Now the least fun bit. I had to scan every item they tried to steal under the stolen code. Before I contemplated touching the goods the thieves tried to steal, I found a box of latex gloves. And that is the story of how one thief met up with some daisy bushels, face to face. Next up, closing time chaos. So this was a few years back. I worked in a clothing store, and at the time we had a buy one get one 70% off sale. Brought in lots of people. The type of people who would drive 30 minutes home and then another 30 back to the store so we could adjust their bill and save them 50 cents. Now the 70% was taken off the lowest priced item. This is common. What it meant for us, however, was people standing at the till for 20 minutes sorting out their piles to try and get the best deals. Buy $30 stuff in one transaction, $40 stuff in another, $10 stuff in yet another, because who wants 70% off of $5 when it's all bought together, right? And to be honest, we didn't necessarily mind doing it. Most people were at least semi-decent about it, and we liked getting them the best deals. Except for one night. These people were in just before closing, and we weren't allowed to say anything to make them leave. We also only had 30 minutes to clean, count tills, do the bank deposit, fill out all the reports, etc., and then get out. So these people were in and out of the fitting rooms, browsing away, and then finally 15 minutes after closing, came up to pay. My manager rang them up, put everything together on one bill to get them out faster, and cue the meltdown. They want to know which ones got the discounts. Got mad when they realized they could be saving more, demanded we redo everything. Manager sighs and starts undoing everything on the computer. While that's processing and the customers are sorting piles, the manager picks up the phone behind the cash register and calls her husband and tells him not to start dinner. Customer gets livid and says we're incredibly rude. Tries to storm out of the door, except it's locked. I followed them to the vestibule to unlock the door and said, "I'm sorry for what's happened, but we're closed. We have been closed for a while now, and we only have a certain amount of time to get the closing task done before we're supposed to leave. We're just running out of time." They look from the door to me, and one replies, "You might be closed, but she doesn't have to be so rude." By then, the manager was also there. She told me she would still ring up their stuff if they wanted it. Their choice. They came back in and got their stuff, and then we let them out. I don't think many chores got done that night. My manager and I were both frazzled. I ran around grabbing hanger bins and garbage, and she did as quick of a count as she could manage. Wish we could actually say we're closed. Well, that ends it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.